My fellow citizens and residents, on December 18th, 2017, you went out in overwhelming numbers and elected the Concerned Citizens Movement to serve the island of Nevis. We were then and are today grateful for the opportunity to serve our people. I'm especially grateful that you saw in me the qualities of a servant leader that would serve in your best interests. In the 5 years since then, your government has sought to live up to its ethos of putting our people first. Our accomplishments, despite considerable odds, have been many. It is a record which we can be proud of and which has benefited the people of our beloved Nevis significantly. This government was forced to confront the first global pandemic in 100 years, when the COVID-19 pandemic erupted in March of 2020. For 2 years, our island went through lockdowns and curfews and quarantines. No other government in the history of Nevis has ever had to confront such a calamity. I believe that those 2 years allowed our people to see the true mettle of the CCM leadership in government. We committed early to do all in our power to keep our people safe, to keep our public servants paid in full and on time, and to innovate and find ways and means to combat the effects of the pandemic. To demonstrate leadership and solidarity with our people, every member of cabinet took a pay cut for 3 months, and in my case, I took no salary or benefits as premier for some 20 months. The pandemic tested our mettle, but with God's grace and guidance, we withstood the worst of times and emerged with the best record of COVID management in the region, with the lowest deaths, lowest hospitalization rate, and among the highest vaccination rates. I am so proud of our cabinet, our frontline workers, and the leadership of our own Dr. Judy Nisbet, who guided our response. In health, we have invested in new ambulances, additional diagnostic equipment, including a brand new state-of-the-art 128-slice Philips CT scan machine, hired and trained additional nurses, hired additional doctors, introduced our first ever ear, nose, and throat specialist clinics for free, purchased new garbage trucks and other equipment for solid waste, introduced a plastic recycling program, opened the island's first ever mental health facility at Prospect, and are currently embarked on the largest ever construction project in the history of healthcare in Nevis, our new hospital, Alexandra, which is scheduled to be completed next year. In education, your CCM government has put in place a maintenance team which has ensured regular maintenance and ongoing upgrades to all of our schools. During COVID, our hard-working team undertook considerable work to retrofit our schools and make them safer for students and teachers alike. We introduced a blended approach, which saw students getting both online and in-person sessions. We provided tablets to students who needed them and internet access for free to homes that had none. Working with the Winsong Foundation, we have secured some 6 new school buses over the past few years, which has allowed us to expand our bus service to our students. This partnership has also seen the delivery of 250 tablets for our students, laptops for our teachers, and music equipment for our NCDF. In our ongoing thrust for greater technical training, we have already constructed a TVET Center in Gingerland and shall soon construct a larger center in Charlestown. These TVET centers will allow our people to get technical training and certification in a number of areas right here on Nevis. In agriculture, we have emphasized food security, offered free feed to our livestock farmers, free fish pot wire to our fishers, free seeds, seedlings, fertilizer, fencing, land preparation, shade houses, and water to our crop farmers, expanded our abattoir and the range of products offered there, created a 30-acre fruit orchard at Indian Castle, including the planting of 5,000 coconut palms, transformed the former Taiwanese farm at Cades Bay into an agro-tourism farm, commissioned the Lariston Parry Storage Depot at Prospect to extend the shelf life of produce and improve the cattle farm at Maddens, including the introduction of new breeds. In water, we have created some 3,030,000 imperial gallons of water storage, installed a treatment plant at Hamilton, which added 216,000 imperial gallons of water per day to our water supply, upgraded the water distribution mains throughout the length and breadth of Nevis, and reduced water outages and disruptions to a bare minimum. In electricity, we have invested significantly in purchasing 2 brand new Wärtsilä engines for our power plant at Prospect, which has allowed us to stabilize the power grid and reduce electricity outages to a minimum. Even as the cost of fuel has risen sharply across the world, as a caring government, we took steps to provide significant relief to our people. We have simultaneously pursued the development of geothermal energy, which has new impetus with the assistance of the federal government and the Caribbean Development Bank. Geothermal energy, when harnessed, will free our island home of fossil fuels and make Nevis the greenest place on planet Earth. It will create new industries based on hydrogen and allow us to manufacture fertilizer from ammonia. It will also permit Nevis to export energy to our sister St. Kitts and other neighboring islands. At the proposed 9 cents per kilowatt hour, Nevis promises to have the cheapest and cleanest electricity in the region, paving the way for significant savings for our people and the transition to electric cars and scooters as environmentally friendly means of transport. In housing, we have witnessed a quiet revolution. For the first time in our history, we have housing developments happening simultaneously at Maddens, Cherry Gardens, Craddock Road, Hamilton, University Heights, and Rices. Our housing program through the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation has afforded scores of young people, and especially single mothers, an opportunity to own their own home. Throughout this term, we are building some 170 affordable and medium-income homes and have benefited some 170 families, despite the 2-year hardship caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. In providing social safety nets for our people, I am proud that this government has provided free water, electricity, and bus passes to our senior citizens. We have provided food vouchers, rent support, and other financial support to those among us needing such support. We have expanded our range of counseling and mental health support to our people. We have invested significantly in programs to offer our disaffected youths alternative pathways. On the economy, we have been relentless in creating jobs and diversifying the local economy. I am proud that through a partnership with MSR Media, we have now produced 8 feature films on Nevis, with the release of Christmas in the Caribbean out now. This fledgling movie industry employs some 90 persons locally in good-paying jobs and has resulted in divisions gaining valuable experience in all aspects of filmmaking. When many doubted that we could create a film industry here, your CCM government said, yes, we can. We recognize the tremendous value of the small and micro business sector. This government provided some $5 million seed funding for women and youth-owned businesses, offering low-interest loans to persons who could not otherwise access financing of up to $100,000. Thus far, we have disbursed some $1,987,690.36 to 54 micro and small businesses on Nevis, and we continue to invite women and youth entrepreneurs to apply to our Small Enterprise Development Unit for assistance under this initiative. We waived the 10% alien landholding license real estate fee, allowing realtors to sell more villas on the island. This initiative, since extended to December 2022, has thus far seen real estate sales of over EC $100 million. This, in turn, has led to considerable construction activity, as many new owners are now retrofitting and modernizing their homes. We remove VAT and customs duties on all construction valued at over $30,000. The result has been a boom in construction, with our planning department reporting some 168 active construction sites currently on Nevis. Our job numbers have been encouraging and show the level of recovery post-COVID. Social Security statistics as of July 2022 show that for the period of July 2021 to July 2022, jobs in Nevis increased by 6.4%. Some 7.1% of the workforce held multiple jobs, an increase of a whopping 54.6% over 2021. Of note is that as at December 2020, when the island was closed due to COVID, total jobs in Nevis stood at 4,600. As at July 2022, the total jobs stood at 5,600, an increase of 1,000 jobs, or 21.7%. While we acknowledge that there is still work to be done, the economic recovery has thus far been phenomenal. In public infrastructure, your CCM government has been able to deliver the beautiful Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, realizing the vision of the late great Malcolm Gishard. This park has had just over 35,000 visitors since it opened less than 1 year ago. We have now received financing from the Taiwanese government to pursue additional development at Pinneys Beach and expect that work to start in the next 2 weeks. We have undertaken and completed major road projects in Brown Hill, Shaw's Road, Braziers, Hamilton, Farms, and the Island Main Road. Projects at Butler's, Bath, and a second phase of the Island Main Road are ongoing. In each of these projects, except the Island Main Road, we have used our local engineers and contractors and the skilled men and women of our Public Works Department. The days of an NRP premier telling divisions they were not competent to deliver major infrastructure in Nevis are over. Using our own people has allowed skills to develop and has kept significant sums circulating in the local economy instead of being repatriated abroad. Our young contractors can now get work. Our truck and heavy equipment operators can now get work. In addition, we have invested in significant equipment to better build our roads, such as a brand new paver and milling machine at an investment of over $1 million. We are truly building Nevis by us and for us. In sport, your CCM government saw the wisdom in investing in an athletic track facility, using the latest technology from Mondo, and creating a 9-lane track. This has allowed our athletes the ability to train on a proper IAAF certified surface, which has better prepared them to compete nationally, regionally, and internationally. No more will our athletes be forced to run on grass and dirt at the ETW Park. We have refurbished and are in the process of lighting all sporting facilities in Nevis. We have produced a brand new netball, basketball, and tennis complex at the Grell Stevens facility in Charlestown. We have refurbished basketball courts in Gingerland, Churchground, Bath, Ramsbury, Jessops, and the Cotton Ground. We have built the VOJ cricket venue and improved the cricket venues at Brown Hill and Swamp. In cricket, we have provided financial support to all teams and players representing Nevis and have partnered with our own West Indies great Keith Atherton to inaugurate a training facility at the ETW Park. We saw the wisdom in investing in our water taxi operators and spent roughly $6 million on acquiring waterfront property in Wally and constructing the water taxi pier. This investment by the government has allowed the 100% Nivision-owned water taxi business to flourish and has revolutionized travel between Nevis and St. Kitts. We are, even as I speak, building out the reception and office area and acquiring lands for parking. On crime, we have never relented in seeking to tackle this social problem. I am delighted that through a variety of initiatives, working with the federal government, we have dramatically reduced crime and in particular violent crime on our beloved island. Our people now move about far more freely and safely than before. Of particular relevance has been our deployment of technology, such as CCTV along our Island Main Road and in Charlestown. We have supported that initiative with a sophisticated CCTV command center, which is manned 24 hours each day. Our security forces now have another critical tool to assist in the fight against crime. To further support our security forces, we have built a state-of-the-art police and fire station at Newcastle to replace the dilapidated structure that used to be there. Our police and fire officers are now far more comfortable living and working in a modern building that is fit for purpose. I am proud to advise that we are also in advanced talks to establish a Coast Guard and military base on Nevis for the first time in our history. I am so happy that we have been able to fix long-standing sewage issues for the proud homeowners at Cherry Gardens and ameliorated a potential health hazard there. We have also assisted homeowners in the Golden Grove community in Brown Hill. We continue to demonstrate that our people matter most. Given the scarcity of government lands available for development for our people, your CCM government has embarked upon significant land acquisition at Garner's Estate, Herbert's Beach, and Wally, and is currently finalizing a land swap to permit the people of Barnesgot the opportunity to expand their village. To our valued non-national community, your CCM-led government has not once, not twice, but on 3 occasions granted amnesty and reduced work permit costs so that you can regularize your status and be comfortable in your new home of Nevis. Unlike the NRP government, which used to vilify, harass, and deport non-nationals, your CCM government has a policy of inclusion rather than exclusion. Nevis now boasts a multicultural and multiracial society. We cherish you and welcome the contribution you're making to our national development. Our non-established workers have complained for decades that they contribute for sometimes 40 years and then leave empty-handed on retirement. Your CCM-led government has heard the cries and as of September 1st, 2022, has introduced a retirement package for non-established workers. This is intended to bring great relief and comfort to our NE workers in their retirement years. This is a significant achievement as we continue to put people at the center of our development. For our public servants, I am proud that your CCM government has delivered the largest pay increase in the history of Nevis at 15%, payable in tranches of 5% per year over 3 years. We have already paid 5%, and another 5% will be paid on January 1st, 2023, and a further 5% on January 1st, 2024. I'm equally humbled that your CCM government has created history by securing not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 double salaries for our public sector workers in the past 5-year term, with the 4th such bonus salary being paid just 2 days ago. Our frontline workers who fought to keep us safe during COVID can also look forward to the payment of a $2,000 honorarium on or before November 30th, 2022. This is our way of saying thank you. When our people cried out for the rising fuel surcharge on their electricity bills caused by the war in Ukraine and suppression of supply by OPEC, your government listened, consulted, and responded. We have now removed the surcharge from domestic users and capped it at 65 cents for commercial users. This move has brought tremendous relief to homeowners all across Nevis and is further testimony to our commitment to putting our people first. Your CCM party in government has taken its commitment to women and youth seriously. Our record is a proud one. It was a CCM representative, the Honorable Jean Harris, who was the first woman elected to Parliament in Nevis. Our leader, the Honorable Vance Amory of blessed memory, reached out in 2013 and positioned the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams in the cabinet. When I became Premier in 2017, I again reached out to the Honorable Hazel Brandy and made her cabinet member. Following in that rich tradition, your CCM has recently selected a young woman of Barnesgut, the Honorable Latoya Jones, and created history by making her the first female senator and deputy speaker in the National Assembly from the island of Nevis. Ms. Jones has now been declared a candidate for the CCM in constituency number 5, St. Thomas's, and we have every confidence that she will bring effective representation to the proud people of St. Thomas's. Your CCM government has also chosen women in succession to function as Deputy Governor General, and I record my deep appreciation to both Her Honor Marjorie Morton and Her Honor Hailita Liebert for their exceptional service to Nevis and the wider Federation. The CCM has not just talked about women empowerment. We have done it and will continue to do it. Brothers and sisters, the past 5 years have seen difficulties and unprecedented challenges. Not only did we have to confront the COVID-19 pandemic, but we were all shocked and deeply saddened at the loss of our Premier of 20 years, the Honorable Vance Amory. We continue to remember his family in our prayers and pledge to continue to build upon the rich legacy of service and sober, sensible leadership that he bequeathed to us in this great CCM party. Against this backdrop of performance, touching every single sector of our society and quality leadership that our island has enjoyed, I have today advised His Excellency the Governor General, after consultation with the Honorable Prime Minister, that the Nevis Island Assembly should be dissolved as of Friday, the 25th day of November, 2022. Nomination day for the election of representatives to the Nevis Island Assembly shall be Monday, December 5th, 2022. Election day on the island of Nevis shall be Monday, December 12th, 2022. In this election, you will have a clear choice between a solid record of performance of your CCM and government and the promises being made by the other side. I believe that our record has been an exceptional one despite the grave challenges. I commit this CCM party to waging a campaign of ideas and of hope, rather than a campaign of vilification and vitriol. I urge you, brothers and sisters, to engage in the process, to listen to the issues, and to make your vote count for the continued development and advancement of this land called Nevis that we are all privileged to call our home. It is now therefore time for the campaign, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you in the weeks ahead. May God continue to guide and guard us all, and may His peace and grace be upon you and your household. Thank you.
Show me your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, yes. CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. We gone clear.
Good night, church ground. How are you feeling? Good night, Nevis. It's a good night in Nevis. So happy to join you here in church ground this evening on this wonderful November 2022 night. I want to thank all of you who are here already in person. Those of you who are on your way, drive safely. Get here safely. Those of you who are listening, you're living close by and you're listening in your homes, we want to welcome you. Those of you who are listening on Van Radio, those of you who are looking at us on the live stream, on YouTube or on Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, I'm encouraging you to share the live. It's a wonderful, wonderful night. All of you for joining this same team. I think we're going to be having some wonderful times over the next few days and the coming weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the CCM is a godly party, and whenever we start these meetings, we want to start them off right by inviting the Lord's presence. So let us reverence ourselves for a word of prayer wherever we are. Almighty God, who created heaven and earth, who molded man in your own image, all glory, honor, and power belongs to you. Humbly, dear Lord, we seek your blessing, your guidance, and your grace. Grant us wisdom, O Lord, and understanding, and a heart of compassion. Bind us together, dear Lord, as a people with cords that would never be broken. These mercies we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. It feels good, ladies and gentlemen, to be here in church ground tonight. And I know we are going to have a bumper crowd tonight. I've been getting lots of messages. Facebook is lighting up. The status on WhatsApp, it's all saying CCM. CCM. CCM is trending. And we are so happy to be in church ground this evening, because we know that church ground is CCM country. The Concerned Citizens Movement is deeply rooted in church ground. Much of the foundation of CCM was laid right here in church ground. Church ground, we all know, is Gishard country. Malcolm Gishard, of blessed and glorious memory, was from right here in church ground. So the CCM roots are deep right here in church ground. It is not by any mistake that we're in church ground tonight, you know. This is by design. You would recall that the last time we in Nevis called an election, the last time the CCM called an election, we were right here in church ground in 2017. It was right here that the changing of the guards happened in 2017. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned to church ground. And we are so happy to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 10 years, we have been able to accomplish so many things as a government, working together with you, the people of our island. In January 2013, you, the good people of Nevis, placed your trust in the Concerned Citizens Movement Party to lead our island. We were then led by the giant of a man, the Honorable Vance Amory of blessed memory, with a mandate to restore democracy and decency to government here on Nevis, and to rid our island, my people, to rid our island of the scourge that was the NRP and the rampant corruption that was the prevailing order of the day from 2006 to 2012. Again, in December 2017, you returned the Concerned Citizens Movement to government, and this time with an increased mandate. Under the leadership of the Honorable Mark Brantley, our government has done well to restore decency and good governance and confidence to the island of Nevis. We have seen the upward movement and the upliftment of our people in so many different ways. Improvements in education, in technology, in healthcare, in tourism, in infrastructure, in agriculture, in sports, in culture, and in so many other areas. We want to thank the good people of Nevis for putting your trust in the Concerned Citizens Movement. Those of you who have placed your confidence in us and have given us your support over the years, those of you who are living here on Nevis and those in the diaspora.
Increase the momentum. Jamming with the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. We gone clear. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Put them up, put them up, put them up. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, yes. CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. We gone clear. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Say put them up in the air. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Show me your body finger. Put them up. Put them up.
I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and we rolling with the big blue machine. We sticking with the big blue machine. We winning with the big blue machine. We jamming with the big blue machine. I see next side. I see next side. Are you not try and lose? Are you not try and lose? I see next side. I see next side. Are you not try and lose? Are you not try and lose? Sticking with the big blue machine. We jamming with the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine. We winning with the big blue machine. Trouble, trouble.
Look how easy we go hammer them. Everything we do, it a bother them. No mix we up in the drama them. You see that next team a scammer them. Look how easy we go hammer them. Everything we do, it a bother them. No mix we up in the drama them.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I believe they're out for us, but we had a mishap with the mic. And that thing reached all over YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp status. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, what happened is that the monitor speaker that was on the side fell over and hit the mic stand. A big cup of wind passed, hit the mic stand and it popped out the mic. That thing gone all over Facebook and they got all kind of things to say. And the mic just cut out because of a battery mishap. I guess they're going to find something to say there. But to God be the glory, great things he has done. And we continue. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Nivision people, you know, we've come a long way in Nevis, you know. We have come a very, very long way under the leadership of the Concerned Citizens Movement. How many of you remember that before CCM got into government in 2013, that we had down to the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance at the time under NRP, he cried out and he said what? The country was broke. That was the state of affairs in Nevis under NRP. And look how far we have come from those days to these days. Ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of the Honorable Mark Brantley over these past 5 years, the NIA has been able to pay our civil servants a salary 4 out of 5 years. The only year we didn't do that was in 2020 when Nevis was in total lockdown for many, many months because of COVID-19. So we have come a very, very long way. Just a few days ago, the last double salary was paid. And so Nevis people could have money to go and do whatever they want to do. The Concerned Citizens Movement has been all about the upliftment of people. We came into government with the mantra, people matter more. People matter more. And then we improved on it to say, people matter most. And now, lately, in these days, we have been saying, increase the momentum. And why do we say that? Because we have built up momentum here in Nevis. Nevis is moving forward under the leadership of the Concerned Citizens Movement. And so I'm asking all of you, the people of Nevis, residents and citizens, and if you're living overseas in the diaspora, when the time comes, and the date was just announced tonight, you know, December 5th, nomination day. December 5th, nomination day. And December 12th, come the 12th of December, we're going to put NRP out of their misery here in Nevis. You know, after the just concluded federal elections, where the Concerned Citizens Movement won 3 seats out of 3 seats here at Nevis, the NRP walking around telling people that they won. So delusional are they. And so now they see Nevis that is good up momentum under CCM. They want to come talk foolishness about the tides are turning. But no tides are turning because we are all pushing in the direction of progress.
I'm jamming with the big blue machine. I'm rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, tell them we can't clear.
You see, those of you who have voted for the CCM, we want you to increase the momentum and continue to give CCM that vote. And we want you to talk to your friends and family, and tell them, make sure come the 12th of December that you're out in your numbers to ensure that we keep NRP just where they are. And that we continue moving forward with the Concerned Citizens Movement. You see, our candidates, and we have 5 of them, 5 winning candidates, they will be coming to you, ladies and gentlemen. You heard the Honorable Spencer Brand the other night. I never hear Spencer like that on the platform before. So much people call me and they say, Spencer, hot, 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 hot. You know, I in government and I didn't realize there's so much things happening in town. I knew about a lot of them, but I did not know it was so much. The record of achievement is long. Ladies and gentlemen, the Concerned Citizens Movement has worked hard for the people of Nevis. And we have come too far to turn back. We have come too far to turn back to what it used to be before. Because those of you who are a little bit older, and are starting to feel a little older too, I remember when I came into this politics thing, they used to call me the young one. All kind of young name they used to find to give me. I have a few grays now, so I could give advice to the younger people. And I remember as a youngster, I used to walk around and older people used to tell me, youngster, the politics is more about you than about me. And I used to wonder and I used to question what they really saying, But what they were saying is that the decisions that are made now, they're not just for now, but they affect us going on years upon years into the future. Take for instance, the last time the people of Nevis gave the NRP a chance, however that happened. And that in itself is controversial. In 2006, the NRP managed to rack up as much debt in Nevis between 2006 and when the last government in 2013 than all the years before that. It was almost as much. What they did in 5 years and 18 null and void months was almost as much as from 1983 to 2006.
What?
Could you imagine that? And when I looked at all of those things, I said to myself, those people who are giving me that advice, youngster, the politics is more about you than me. I understand now what they were trying to say. I understand now the wisdom of what they were saying. So to the young people in Nevis, I want to say to you that the politics is more about you than it is about me. It is more about you than it is about any one of us who you will see on the CCM platform. We are fighting to ensure that the good Nevis that we have remains for you or is a better Nevis. That is what the Concerned Citizens Movement is all about. So when we come to you and we ask you for the vote, remember that it's more about you than about us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Concerned Citizens Movement will be bringing 5 candidates before you. 4 of the candidates that we will bring are currently serving in the cabinet as elected representatives and ministers of the people. 4 out of the 5. And the other candidate is an intelligent and young lady who is full of life, full of energy, and ready and willing to serve the people of St. Thomas's and the people of Nevis. So when the CCM comes before you, the CCM always comes with the best. And that is what we are bringing in election 2022. So we are humbly asking that you, the voters and the people of Nevis, that you give to the concerned citizens movement a renewed mandate. And not just a renewed mandate, because we want to increase the momentum and we want to increase the mandate. So in 2017, Nevis, you gave us 4 out of 5. In 2022, we are asking you to give us all 5 out of 5 here in Nevis. That is what we want. Better equip us so that we can work harder for you, the people of Nevis. Don't bother with those on the other side who are coming to you. They are coming to you and they are promising to bring the stars out of the heavens down to the earth to give to you. Don't bother with them. Because we all know them. We know who they are. We know them by their works. And we know that the promises that they are coming to you with are empty promises. So do not be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with the concerned citizens movement. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a good night. The election was just announced. I didn't hear the bell ring, but I believe sometime tonight we're going to hear the bells ringing. And I'm looking forward to that, I want to hear the bell ring. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a full slate. Well, not a full slate tonight. Because, it's the end of the year, and the end of the year gets kind of cold and chilly. And it's the flu season. And so I want to apologize again tonight for the Honorable Eric Evelyn, who is still a bit under the weather. He will be with us tonight, but he's not, in a position to speak tonight. But we'll hear from the Honorable Eric Evelyn soon enough. And also I want to apologize for the Honorable Latoya Jones, who is also a little bit under the weather. So we won't hear from her tonight. But CCM, CCM have a lot of talent. And we have a lot of things that we have done over these past years in government. And so we want to take some time to talk about it. And so the rest of us who are going to talk tonight, we're going to talk about all of the good things that the concerned citizens movement have been doing. And we're going to talk about all of the reasons why the people of Nevis should continue to put their trust in the concerned citizens movement. And I want to introduce to the microphone, first up, this gentleman often walks around quietly, but he is a quiet and powerful man. He has been doing a lot of good things in Nevis. We heard him the other night in Hamilton. We heard him list out so many of the things that have happened under his watch. all over the island of Nevis. All over the island of Nevis, you see the work that he has been doing on your behalf, on the people's behalf, to make Nevis a better place. And what a wonderful job he has been doing. And so, when the election is called and we say number one, when we say number one and we say Charlestown, we know that there is only one brand. Only one brand in town. There is no room for anything else in number one. There's no room for anybody else. No room for no rah-rah or nothing like that. We don't want that. All we want is performance. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome to the platform the man who has been performing for the people of Charlestown and the people of Nevis, the Honorable Spencer Brand.
You voting finger, show me your voting finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, yes, CCM. Tell them we gone clear, we gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear, we gone clear. Show me your voting finger, your voting finger. Show me your voting finger. Say put them up in the air. Show me your voting finger, your voting finger. Show me your voting finger. Put them up, put them up.
I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? We rolling with the beat.
Good night, good night, good night, good night, everybody. Somebody says school calling. Ay, ay, ay. Somebody says school calling. And you know, when school calling, what happen? You find your class. Well. I am in such a good mood tonight, you hear? I am in such a good mood. Let me say a very pleasant good evening to all those who are gathered here in Church Ground, one of CCM's most favorite place to have political meeting. One of CCM's favorite place to congregate and to enjoy ourselves. But it is a very special place for us in the CCM party. Because when you look on your right, you see the big man looking down on us. And I know that the big man is saying to us tonight, put this strap on them again. Put this strap on them again. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say a very pleasant good evening to all those who are viewing. I believe that we are going all the way down in Australia to the North Pole and to the South Pole in this meeting tonight because school calling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to the whole of Nevis that this election ought not to be a complicated election. I want to say to the whole of Nevis that this election ought not to be too difficult for the people of Nevis to arrive at a decision. I want to say to the whole of Nevis that on the 12th of December, you ought not to be stressing yourselves about who to vote for. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the Concerned Citizens Movement record in the last 5 years alone deserves another 15 years in office. You see, I came in this political thing with certain preconceived position. I came to government from the private sector with certain preconceived position and certain way of thinking. But I'm saying to you, when you get into that cabinet room and you have to begin to fight for people and you have to begin to stand up for people, you recognize that this is not child's play, this is serious business. And I want to say to the people of Nevis, in the CCM, you have serious people who are serious about managing the affairs of this country. When the CCM took the reins of government in 2013 again, I was not there. I was a member of the CCM executive. So we were privy to certain bits of information. And I'm here to say to you that if the Concerned Citizens Movement did not win that election in 2013, the whole of Nevis would have been up dark path tonight. The whole of Nevis. Because the road that the Nevis Reformation Party was on in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and the big bubble that they worked in 2011 was not good for the interest of the island of Nevis. In 2017, when I got into government, I realized that the Nevis Reformation Party have left some legacies on the island of Nevis that the people of Nevis are still paying for. In their 5 years and 18 null and void months, the kind of things that they did to the island of Nevis, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Nevis are still feeling those pains. Our debt got out of control like a runaway train. They went about acquiring people property left, right, and center and did not pay a cent for them. Even today, we are still struggling with some of them. They spend money in this country like some drunken sailor, ladies and gentlemen. And then they have the gall and the audacity to ask CCM, what did we do with $400 million? As if $400 million is enough money to build a country. They're out of place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, school calling. And I want the people of Nevis to realize and to recognize that while we will come to you and campaign with you and to you, and while we will say to you what our plans and programs are for the island of Nevis over the next 5 years, really and truly the CCM should not be campaigning in this election, you know. We really ought not to be, because our record have been a proven record, ladies and gentlemen. We have ensured that the island of Nevis continue to progress in the most difficult of times. And when you think about a global pandemic, none of us, not one of us, had any manual to deal with this global pandemic. But I'm saying to you that it was because of our sober hand at the wheel while Nevis came out good on the other side of this global pandemic. We are seeing countries much larger than Nevis are still struggling from the global pandemic. We are seeing countries that have much more wealth than the island of Nevis that are still struggling from this global pandemic. And I often ask myself the question, if by chance the NRP was in government in this pandemic, where would we have been? I've asked that question because I am not convinced that they had any capability to manage the affairs of Nevis in that global pandemic. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will put our record on the table. The Minister of Education spoke about a few things that we have done. But I want to say to the whole of Nevis that our record is clear. In water, we would have ensured, ladies and gentlemen, that we constructed water storage tank the length and breadth of Nevis. Right up in Pond Hill, we are completing another water storage tank right there in Pond Hill because we are serious about water on the island of Nevis. We have ensured in Hamilton that we have constructed water storage. Ladies and gentlemen, in road construction, you can drive the length and breadth of Nevis and have seen the improvement in many road network on the island of Nevis. In Brown Hill, in Marion Heights, in Quaddock Road, in Hanley's Road, all over Nevis. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I find the NRP is a strange bunch of people. Very strange. You know why they're strange? Because on one hand, they're going to say the government building too much a road. And then on the next hand, they're going to say that we're not doing anything. I mean, how could sensible people look big people in the eye and on one hand they say one thing and on the same breath they say something totally different? And that is telling me that they are not trustworthy. You can't trust them. Ladies and gentlemen, we had some issues with crime in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We had some issues with crime in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And your government, your CCM government, took the bold and courageous step to construct a CCTV command center in Charlestown. And why? Because we were serious about fighting crime. We were serious about fighting crime. If we are serious about developing our country, we must be able to get crime under control. You hear much talk about crime these days? Not that I'm wishing that it comes back, but I'm saying to you that it was because of our courageous step why we are seeing a reduction in crime. And I want to appeal to our young people. Crime, a life of crime, is only going to end in one of two places. Either in the cemetery or in prison. And I'm saying to you, I'm appealing to you, to our young people, and to those who are not so young, who might be thinking about getting involved in crime, stay away from it. It is not a road that you want to walk to. They say, ladies and gentlemen, that nothing has happened. And I often say to myself that I used a word up in Hamilton the other day and I know some people are scratching their head. I say that they are a stranger to the truth and a lot of them are scratching their head. They say nothing has happened. But when you look at agriculture, what we have done in agriculture on the island of Nevis, you know, I never knew that Nevis had so much farmers. The length and breadth of Nevis, we are seeing farming taking on a new life of its own. Because we said to the people of Nevis, we have said to the people of Nevis, if by chance the ship was unable to leave Miami to come to Nevis, we must not Our people must not starve. And we went on a magnificent, triumphant drive to ensure that we expand farming on the island of Nevis. And I must admit, as the minister with responsibility for water, they put me under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Because these farmers and Minister Jeffers, they're putting me under some pressure, but we are keeping up. And I'm saying to the people of Nevis, we are doing well when it comes to farming on the island of Nevis. A lot of backyard farming. We are getting fresh produce on a daily basis, which is much more healthier for our people. And yet, they say nothing happened. They say nothing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, our sporting facilities. We have upgraded many of our sporting facilities throughout the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. We have installed lights. We have secured them with fencing. Yes, we have some more work to do. Look at the netball complex in Charlestown. Complete renovation. And some of them go in there and they try to play netball and they say nothing happened. Some of them go in the netball complex. Right in the netball complex, try a little thing and they say nothing happened. And they're in a virtually a brand new spanking netball complex, but nothing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we brought to the island of Nevis a very novel idea of movie making on the island of Nevis. And a lot of people laughed at us. But when I hear, I wish I could have acted because I would have applied for a job. I wish I could have acted, but I can't act. I can't act. So they won't hire me. Right? We brought that movie industry to the island of Nevis. And we have some young, talented people who are involved in that industry that is working for a very good salary. And I want to say to our young people, learn as much as you can because the sky is the limit. One of these days, you might get a call from a Steven Spielberg and say, hey, young man, I need you. You understand? But what it is that the NRP is doing, they continue to denigrate our people. They continue to say that they don't know what they're doing. My former, I don't even know what to say. My wife tell me make sure I behave myself, so I'm going to behave myself. The lady who used to be on the radio there with me said some stuff on a radio station on St. Kitts, which was really despicable. Saying that Nevis people can't run an election. That St. Kitts people must come to Nevis to run the election and take charge of the election. We have had one of the best election supervisor in the Federation in Mr. Elvin Bailey. And Nevis is from.
I might be out of place, but I would like to suggest to the supervisor of election that you get a team of people from St. Kitts and let Nevis people get upset with me today.
Yes, we are upset.
Get a team of people from St. Kitts who has less of an vested interest in the outcome to man the electoral office in Nevis, and to the extent that we could involve them on election day, on polling day, to be the presiding officers.
Out of place and out of order.
What?
Out of place and out of order.
What?
I am saying to you, she should jump on the microphone and apologize to the people of Nevis for that kind of statement. It is a disgraceful statement to the people of Nevis. Our people went to school and university just like everybody else. They can think they have a mind of their own, they know right and wrong. And you are saying to the people of Nevis that we can't function, we can't run our own election. It's out of place. And I want to say to the people of St. John's, she is the NRP candidate in St. John's. And I want to say to the people of St. John's, if you did not have a reason before to vote against this lady, you have one. You now have one. I want to say to the people of St. John's, even if you was giving her some consideration in this election, change your mind and go to the polls and make sure you vote overwhelmingly for the Honorable Mark Brantley, because that is a despicable statement. You see, when you right here, that's ready for prime time. When the Concerned Citizens Movement Party penned the slogan "People Matter," you understand what we're talking about? You can appreciate what we are talking about. This CCM party is all about elevating our people. We have said before that we're not going to take no backseat for nobody in our country. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Divisions. We have some nationals here from other territory who have made their homes on the island of Nevis. We have welcomed you on the island of Nevis. You have been a part of us. You have been amongst us. You have contributed. And all that we have asked of you is to follow our laws and ensure that you make an honest and decent contribution to the island of Nevis. And I'm saying to you, to all of you who will be voting in this election, when you go to the polls, make sure that you give your support next to the hammer. Make sure that you give your ex next to the hammer. And wherever you see a battle, just pass over that and go look for the hammer. Because I'm saying to you, when you hear those kind of statements, they don't love Nevis people. They don't
we
care.
have to be fighting with people from Santo Domingo who, well, the Dominican Republic, pardon me, who don't live here, don't even know where they're going when they come here to vote. But we know they're already on the list. We can't get them off. And you know why we can't get them off, EK? Because they are citizens. They hold our passport. They hold our passports. Be fighting with people from Santo Domingo who, well, the Dominican Republic, pardon me, who don't live here, don't even know where they're going when they come here to vote. But we know they're already on the list. We can't get them off. And you know why we can't get them off, EK? Because they are citizens. They hold our passport. They hold our passports.
Good night. So, if you're from church ground and you hold an Nevis passport and you live in America, they're going to try and get you off the list?
What?
I tell you already, you know, I have tuned out from these people, you know. I have tuned out because these people either got to be crazy or I don't know. I really cannot understand what it is sometimes that these people just be saying. We have in this country a process for anyone who wishes to register. And if at any time that process is compromised, there are also some steps to be taken to remove that person from the voters list. So what it is that they are complaining about? I am saying to you, if somebody here in church ground look at the voters list and they recognize that Tom Jones registered on the voters list, and you here in church ground knows that Tom Jones don't live in church ground or is a citizen or whatever, you have the right to object and get that person's name removed from the voters list. There is a process. It is enshrined in law. But you see, they are wishing that they could do what they did in 2010 to remove hundreds of names from the voters list without due process. That is what they are wishing for. And I'm saying to them, those days are long gone, because CCM is ensuring that all those persons who are duly registered can ensure that they exercise their franchise in this country. If they feel that somebody is not registered properly, there is a mechanism for them to get those persons' name off of the list. And I'm saying to you, I am saying to all those non-nationals who they keep insulting, I am saying to all of them, tonight, I want you to remember which political party have stood up for you. It was the CCM party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in church ground. And the Premier, in his wisdom, have decided that nomination day will be the 5th of December. The Premier, in his wisdom, have decided that election day is on the 12th of December. And I want to make this appeal to all and sundry who is registered to vote. I want to say to you one thing tonight. Do not take this election for granted. Let me say it again. I am saying to all and sundry, do not take this election for granted. Desperate people do desperate things. I am saying to all of you who are friends of CCM, who are friends of Nevis, keep your eyes and your ears open in the days leading up to the election and on election day. I am saying to you, if you see something that look out of order, I am sure you can get a telephone call to somebody in CCM. Because I'm telling you, CCM have some bright, brilliant lawyers, you know. And we know where to find bright and brilliant lawyers. Right? Do not take this election for granted. I am saying to you, make sure that you go out early to vote and take your neighbors with you if you can. Encourage someone to go and vote. If you can encourage someone to go and vote, do so. Every one of you have influence over somebody else. And use that influence to encourage them to go and vote and support the Concerned Citizens Movement Party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming out of this COVID pandemic. But we must look forward. We cannot think about the past for too long. Otherwise, you are going to get bogged down. We have to look forward. Tonight, we are here and we are looking forward. I want the entire island of Nevis to look forward with us and join us in that march forward. We are bringing to you, ladies and gentlemen, initiatives and ideas that we believe will move this country forward. I am here to say to you tonight that in the next dispensation, your CCM government will give some serious consideration to the Vance W. Amry International Airport. I am one of those persons, ladies and gentlemen. I am one of those who feel that as a Nevisian, I should be able to walk on a plane at Vance W. Amry International Airport and land in Miami. I am one of those who think that way. I am here to say to you that we are looking seriously at separating the sixth form college from the Charlestown Secondary School and build a full-fledged college for the island of Nevis. It's about time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a facility at Long Point, the Deepwater Port. I believe that Nevis is specially positioned in the Eastern Caribbean that that port can become a transshipment point for the entire Caribbean. And we have to look at it. We have to begin to think big and think long term for the development of the island of Nevis. We are considering seriously, ladies and gentlemen, the construction of that South Road from Long Point all the way to Hanley's Road. Because I've always said that I believe that that section of the island of Nevis can be the little Dubai in the Caribbean. It can be. We must not limit ourselves. You know, I am old enough that when Four Seasons came to Nevis, there was a lot of the former premier, our only national hero. He got a lot of cuss. I remember people said, I was a young man then in my, not going to say how young or how old I was, but I am old enough to remember. I remember the talk around that, oh, give away all the Nevis people land. But what has been the benefit of Four Seasons to the island of Nevis? Four Seasons have helped to transform the entire island of Nevis because of the vision. And I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that in this Concerned Citizens Movement Party, you have men and women of vision. And in the next dispensation, we will ensure that we continue to transform the island of Nevis. The NRP is not serious about development. They're not serious. I am not certain if they are capable, but I am certain that they are not serious. I want to say to the people of Nevis, this election is all about the future of Nevis. This election is all about the next generation of Nevisians and persons who take up the island of Nevis as their home. This election, ladies and gentlemen, is to ensure that we continue on a path of recovery. Do not take chance, do not gamble in this election. In Hamilton, a couple nights ago, I rolled out a number of initiatives for my constituency. And while some people may think that I want to spend off all the government money, well, some people may think that. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, every single member on this platform have ambition for their own constituency. Every one of us. It means, therefore, that all of us, when we pull all of that together, it means that we will see development throughout the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. And I want us to think like that. I want us to recognize that in CCM, you have a government that is prepared to engage in development throughout the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. Some may come sooner than others. But it is our intention to ensure that we see development throughout the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would end where I started. I would say to you that school call in. And when school call in, what do you do? When school call in, what do you do? When school call in, what do you do? You find your class. But I will put a caveat on that. I will put a caveat on that. Let me let the vehicles pass so you can hear me clearly. The caveat is, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one class. And that class is the CCM class for the island of Nevis. There is only one class. There must only be one class. And there should only be one class in this election. So find your CCM class on election day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in St. John's. And the Concerned Citizens Movement Party is offering to you as your candidate our premier. This is a man who needs no introduction. But I'm appealing to the people of St. John's. On election day, please go out and give him your overwhelming support. Make sure that when the numbers are tallied, that the Honorable Mark Brantley will be the next and continue to be the representative of St. John's. In Gingerland, ladies and gentlemen, we are offering to you. I used to use another name, but I cut it out for the time being. I cut it out. In Gingerland, I ain't going to use the other name. I'm going to use the one that everybody know. Eric. I ain't going to use the other name. In Gingerland, we have the Honorable Eric Evelyn. And I'm saying to the people of Gingerland, when the numbers are tallied, I want you to send Eric Evelyn back to Parliament. In St. James's, ladies and gentlemen, the CCM is bringing to you the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Some people say it's Jean Harris' country, but I'm going to say it is Jean Harris and Alexis Jeffers' country. I want to say to the people of St. James's that when the numbers are tallied, I want you to send back the Honorable Alexis Jeffers back to Parliament as your representative. In St. Thomas's, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing to you a young lady, a very talented young lady. The Honorable Latoya Jones. And I want to say to St. Thomas's, come home to CCM. I want to say to St. Thomas's, come home to CCM. Because in Miss Jones, you can rest assured that you will have someone in cabinet that will fight for you and will deliver for you. And in St. Paul's, ladies and gentlemen, hi. Ladies and gentlemen, in St. Paul's, some young people develop this little thing, the only brand in town. In St. Paul's, ladies and gentlemen, in St. Paul's, the CCM is offering to you, yours truly, Spencer Rudolph Brand. And I'm saying to the good people of St. Paul's, I am saying to the good people of St. Paul's, the NRP is bringing to you someone that have become a stranger to the truth. But I'm saying to you that in yours truly, you can rest assured that I will work day and night for you. So on election day, when the numbers are tallied, make sure that you send Spencer Brand back to Parliament to work for you, ladies and gentlemen.
On election day, we gonna hammer them. It's only one choice, we vote to CCM.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will end tonight by saying to you two things. One, do not take this election for granted. And I will say it again. Do not take this election for granted. And the other thing I want to say to you, on election day, think Nevis. On election day, think Nevis. And you would agree that the Concerned Citizens Movement Party is the only party anywhere on this planet Earth that have the best interest of Nevis at heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you tonight, continue to enjoy tonight's meeting. And school call in, and there is only one class, the Concerned Citizens Movement class for the island of Nevis. Thank you, good night, and God bless.
We jamming with the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch man the seat, we gone clear. We gone clear. Show me your button finger. Show me your button finger. Show me your button finger. Put them out, put them out, put them out. Show me your button finger. Show me your button finger. Show me your button finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, yes, CCM, tell them we gone.
I believe we gone clear, you know. DJ play that song a little bit more. I believe we gone clear.
With the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch man the seat, we gone clear. We gone clear. Show me your button finger. Show me your button finger.
You know, I really feel good. I believe we gone clear in this one. 5-0. You know, World Cup playing right now, right? So we using a little football terminology. You see, on the 12th of December, when the votes are all tallied and it's all done and dusted, it's going to be 5-0 to the Concerned Citizens Movement. I believe it. You know, I noticed something. That the Concerned Citizens Movement is energized. I know you all see Spencer. You all see Spencer on his mic the other night up in Hamilton. I never see Spencer go on bad, sir. And look at tonight again. Full of energy. That's the representative for Charlestown. We got to make sure that we keep him right there doing the work that he has been doing. He has been working hard. So we're going to give him more work to do. You understand? Because he's equal to the task. Ladies and gentlemen, I heard some clips. And I often wonder, you know, where these people, they don't follow politics. They have come and they have said that they want to be politicians. And they want to be representatives. But it's like they never used to watch what used to go on before. Because we are accustomed to play so much clips of so many people talking nonsense. And these they're doing the same foolishness. You know, I could not believe when I heard it that the person who wants to be our representative here in St. John's could get the heart to go on a radio station over there in Sinkits talking to Ike. Y'all ever hear Ike talk? When he talk about CCM, is a bunch of cussing he got to go on with. You understand? But we're going to make them continue cuss. But the lady gone over Sinkits talking to Ike and talking foolishness. So Nevis people not honest. That's what they're trying to say. Nevis people are dishonest people. That's what they're trying to say.
What?
Nevis people can't be trusted.
What?
So we must bring people from over in St. Kitts to run our election for us here in Nevis.
What?
You understand? Somebody who want to come to you, the people of St. John's, to say vote for them, could say such a thing. And I want to agree with what Spencer said. She need to go back on the same radio station. You understand? Where she went to say that foolishness. And apologize to the people of Nevis for that. And I hope, I hope everybody get a copy of that clip and you play it over and over and over again.
I might be out of place, but I would like to suggest to the supervisor of election that you get a team of people from St. Kitts, and let Nevis people get upset with me today. Get a team of people from St. Kitts who has less of an vested interest in the outcome to man the electoral office in Nevis, and to the extent that we could involve them on election day, on polling day, to be the presiding officers.
You hear that rubbish? You hear that nonsense? And you all hear the host in the background here. You understand? Because he laughing, because he want to know. I'm sure he did want to know how this person want to get elected in Nevis and come in here in the studio talking such nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on with the meeting. And I saw a gentleman walking around tonight, immaculately dressed. He looking like a leader. You understand? He looked the part. We all know that he could play the part. We know that he could walk. We know that when it comes to St. James, that his heart is for the people, that his heart is with the people. We all know that this is a man who performs for his people and performs for all of the people of Nevis. We have seen him at work over these past 10 years. And what a work it has been. We heard the Premier say, when he wants something done, that is the person who he calls to get it done. And I have no doubt in my mind that come the 12th of December, when the roll is called up yonder, that St. James is going to send back to government the man who has been their representative, the man who has been the defender of St. James, none other than the Deputy Premier of Nevis and the Deputy Leader of the concerned Citizens Movement, People's Champion. Help me welcome to the microphone the Honorable Alexis Jeffers.
Touch man the seat, we can clear. Show me your 14 finger, your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them out. Show me your 14 finger. Your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them up in the air.
DJ, turn down the music a little bit. I find out why he wearing the suit tonight. And we want to wish him a happy birthday in advance because tomorrow is his birthday. You understand? So happy birthday to you, son. Welcome to the microphone.
Or did they just stop the music? DJ, before I start, right? I like this thing you have there about what? Play it, let me hear you again.
What? What?
That's all good. What?
What?
CCM people, good night. Good night to the people of Church Ground. And the system sounds so good tonight. I think we're being heard down in Brownhill, Prospect. We're being heard all the way at the back here over in Braziers, Morning Star, Brown Pasture, Burden Pasture. All up and down St. John's, the concerned citizens movement is being heard tonight. And I'm saying to anyone who is coming here, hurry up and come because big news here tonight. Big things are going on here, right here in church ground. So it's good to be here, and I'm so happy that I'm here tonight to support my friend and colleague, the Honorable Mark Brantley. But we'll talk about Mark Brantley later. But in the meantime, I believe I have a nice little long run tonight. You all gonna stay with me? You know what I heard, Eric? Minister Evelyn cannot be on the platform tonight because he's Latoya cannot be here as well. Maybe she's here, but she won't be speaking tonight. So it means after I'm of so if that is the case, I believe I'm going to spend some time up here. I'm so glad for that. But it reminds me of 2017. I believe I spent almost an hour and more right here. You all may not remember, but there was an event going on right up there by the David Freeman Center up in Gingerland somewhere. And I was told that the premier then, or the Honorable Van Sammer then, who couldn't come early, Mark Brantley couldn't come early, Eric couldn't come early, so they told me talk as long as you want. But I do believe tonight is the same thing. So I have a chance to talk, so we'll talk. Because there's a lot of things to talk about. This CCM party has performed since 2017. I can go back, but I'm talking since we would have had this mandate from you, the people of Nevis, back in 2017. We have performed. And we have provided the people of Nevis with opportunities in all areas. And I say to you that we are putting our record on trial here during this election. And you know, when it's all said and done, I know we'll have a resounding victory because you hear it being said from time to time, not only on this platform, but the people of Nevis are so confident about the concerned citizens movement. So they're going to give us all 5 come the 12th of December. All 5 away. And I am confident about that. But ladies and gentlemen, I went the other day to put a new battery in my Blue Watch. It was sitting down since the last election, so I say, before I come up here and look at the time and it don't look right, let me go and put in a new battery. So it's telling me the right time now, and it's telling me this is a hammer time. Hammer time in this island. And we are ready to rumble in all constituencies. Every single one of them. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to politics. Because over the last, at least, let me say, the last 3 to 4 years, or maybe less, all we have heard from the NRP is everything to degrade the people of Nevis.
What?
Everything to denigrate the people of Nevis. Everything that is somewhat disgusting about what they present to us. But I say to the people of Nevis, that is not Nevision-like. It is not Nevision-like. When the things are being said there on Facebook by some of their surrogates. And you know who the surrogates are? These are people who support the NRP, speak on behalf of the NRP. So when you hear them talking, when you see them writing and printing anything on Facebook, it means that they're speaking on behalf of their party. Those are their surrogates, and are the worst thing they have been saying about the people of Nevis and the CCM party. But I say to you, have no fear and don't lose heart at all. Because I believe the majority of Nevisians have already shut out the NRP. The things the NRP has done to the people of Nevis and this island, I believe the majority of people in Nevis are telling themselves there's nothing they want to do with that NRP party. No matter if they've changed their names from the NRP to the new NRP, to the new NRP, to the revamped NRP, all of them is the same NRP. No matter what comes before the NRP, is still NRP. And the NRP has a philosophy, and they have, their party have a philosophy, right? That it seems like anything that is good for the island of Nevis, they want to speak negatively against it. And if you were to go back, I'm going to take you down memory lane a little bit, you know. Because in 2006, you'd have heard Troy would have mentioned that they won an election. Of course, however means they won it.
Because even today, some of the persons who were involved in the shenanigans of 2006 would tell you they went across to St. Kitts, pack up the boat and send persons over here, tell them going to the Methodist church, go up to, they come up to Churchgong as well. They went into Brownhill and all they went in there and say, I am voter number 10. I am voter number 50. I am voter number 250. They don't even know whose name was there.
What?
They don't know whose name was there, but they were that was written in their hand, and they went in and said, I'm voter number 50, and they were given a ballot. And they're bragging about it even up until today. The conscience of a man come back and prick them at some point in time. So you hear them talking about what went on in 2006. Well, they walked away with a victory. But what happened in 2006? I would tell you, the Honorable Van Samry and the CCM left this island in the best shape it could have ever been in. Nevlec was in good shape. Water was in good shape. The NHLDC was in good shape. All institutions were in good shape. We left this island with minimal debts. Minimal debt. And what happened? They wrecked every single thing. When we got back into government, Nevlec was in trouble. All of the generators down there, except the one that the CCM bought in 2004, all of them were in shambles. NHLDC was in shambles as well. We can go into the whole history of NHLDC. But you hear Spencer talk about water, I'm going to tell you something, you know. We had a company in this island here under the NRP called Bede. You all remember Bede? They were given a contract for 10 years under the NRP. We were paying Bede almost $150,000 a month. About 55,000 EC. I don't want US, sorry. I don't want to confuse you with US. Let's stick with EC. At the end of 10 years, Bede walked away with over $17 million of Navy's people money. And you know what they were asked to do? They were asked to pump Navy's people water into our own tanks. So we were paying them to pump water into our tanks. But the interesting thing is that they were supposed to pump 1 million gallons of water every day, but we didn't have the capacity to hold 1 million gallons. What? We didn't have no capacity to hold 1 million gallons of water nowhere in the island of Nevis. So we were paying for water that we were not getting.
What?
That happened under the NRP. This new NRP would not want you to talk about it. You see, they start to throw up all kind of smoke screen. I am telling you that only after Spencer Brand took over water, only after the CCM decided that we have to upgrade the water system here in Nevis, that is when we have capacity now of almost 3 million gallons of water can be stored here on the island of Nevis. So you hear them talk about corruption, you ask where all the money they gone. When you hear a junior minister of the past went on radio every night defending Bede, you understand why he was defending Bede. Why? $17 million of Navy's people money went into this company. But we decided after the 10 years, 2018, we got to take back over with water. And that is why I say we were able to put storage capacity in place so that 3 million gallons of water can be stored in Nevis now. You go up to Panel, Spencer spoke about it earlier, you see that big, massive tank, I believe is about 500,000 gallons. How much? 250,000, well, almost right. I just double it, but that's okay. But the point I'm trying to make is that all up and down Nevis, we have done an excellent job. We spent over $30 million to upgrade the water system here in Nevis. So Spencer, let me tell you, if we're using water down in Indian Castle, Lord, we have water. Water in this place. Not only that, in electricity, we have done an excellent job of improving electricity on Nevis. We have bought 2 brand new generators within the last 4 years. One in 2016, a 3.8 megawatt generator. What still a generator that is? We bought another one just a year and a half ago, another 3.8 megawatts. We have improved electricity to the point where when you flick your switch, you know you'll get your electricity. There was a point in time when we had trouble, difficulties with electricity, and we were able to fix that. We were able to fix NASPA as well too. When we left government in 2006, NASPA was voted the #1 port in the Caribbean. And under this government, NASPA have already reclaimed that accolade. #1 last year. When negativity, good things. While we were here, we see school buses, whole 15 school buses we got now not try. Brand new buses. That is government at work. And government that believes in providing for its people. Not only believe, but have delivered for its people. And we are asking the people of Nevis, do not turn back the hands of time. Don't gamble with your future. No matter what the NRP come with. Tell them things running good with CCM.
I see next side, I you to try and lose. I see next side, I you to try and lose.
And lose, they're going to lose come December 12th. Things running good with CCM. We have had some difficult times in the last 2 years with COVID-19. And Mark Brantley, as the leader of this island, have done a remarkable job. A remarkable job in ensuring that this island was kept safe. I'll talk more about Mark Brantley, like I said. But when we asked the NRP come on board with the CCM, come and give us your ideas, come and work with the policies and programs we are putting in place, they said straight up they're not interested.
What?
And I saw they said they love Nevis people. I saw they said they love Nevis people. We asked them to come on board. Come on board and let's work together to ensure that Nevis was protected. But we are capable of handling our own, We are capable of handling things on our own. So we were just being what we have always been, an inclusive government, an inclusive party, and we were inviting them to come on board. But they turned us down, and that doesn't matter anymore anyway, because we were able to keep Nevis safe. Because we were able to keep it safe. Tourists started coming back here quickly. You all remember there was a point in time when Nevis was so good, we were able to stay open and St. Kitts was locked down there for a whole week or more. I believe it was 14 days, I can't recall. But we remained open over here because we were doing an excellent job of ensuring that the message was conveyed to the people of this island. Stay safe, adhere to the protocols, and make sure that you look out for your neighbor and look out for your sister and your brother. So accolades to the CCM. Good job by the Honorable Mark Brantley. Good job by the cabinet of the CCM. I want to say tonight to you that we always felt that everything that we do must include and must be for the people and the island of Nevis. That is why when COVID-19 came and we understood the difficulties that we would have faced, that is why the entire cabinet decided to take a pay cut. And that was not the first time we did it either, In 2013, when we understood the difficulties that Nevis faced, the challenges we faced then, right out of the gate, we said, before I even know how much I was going to get paid, we took a 10% pay cut for at least 3 years. You could do the maths and you understand the thousands that we had to forego. But none of us complained. None of us complained because we understood that what we were doing then was standing in solidarity with the people of Nevis. If difficult times are here, all of us will participate and join in and make sure that we can handle those difficult circumstances. When good times come, all of us can rejoice and have a good time as well. So CCM have proven time and time again that we are the only party on this island, the only party that has demonstrated that it has the best interest of the people of Nevis at heart. We don't just speak about it. Our actions have shown that. Our action clearly shows that CCM will always rally for and on behalf of the people of Nevis. We have done so in Nevis and we have done so in St. Kitts.
On election day, we gonna hammer them. It's only one choice, we vote for CCM.
We have been at the federal level as well as a party and as a team. And we have gone over there and represent the island of Nevis. And when things were not going the way that we wanted it to, we said, of course, we cannot be a part of an environment that will treat the people of Nevis less than what we are.
So we decided we were not going to be a part of that. That is history now. I don't want to go back there tonight. But I want to say to you, anytime you ask the CCM to stand up for you, whether it's in the electoral process that we have here on the island, whether it's about ensuring that we bring jobs to the island, CCM will always stand up for you and make sure that your best interest is represented. I just mentioned about the electoral process. I want to say to all of you here tonight, since 2013, we have never had any difficulties with any election here on the island of Nevis. Not one. 2013, no comments, nothing negative. 2015, nothing negative from the NRP, nothing negative from nobody. 2017, clean, gone right clear. No comments whatsoever. 2020, none whatsoever. 2022, none whatsoever. Is only because NRP know they're going to lose. Because they know fully well that they're going to lose. They bring up the smoke screen now about supervisor, about electoral process, about bringing people from St. Kitts. You got to be mad.
I see next side, are you gonna try and lose? I see next side, are you gonna try and lose?
But speaking of this electoral process here, don't let them fool you, you know. Don't let them fool you. I want to say, since 2015 until now, we have never had any comments, negative comments about our supervisor of elections. There's a gentleman in St. Kitts who went into the electoral office down there, making all kind of noise, and what happened? Labour win all 6 seats down there by almost how many votes? 200 plus votes. So where was the difficulty? Where were the difficulties? But you know, all this smoke screen they throw up. But I said to you, there was no smoke screen in 2011 when over 200 voters right here in the constituency of St. John's were taken off of the voters list. That was no smoke screen. People just actually disappear off the list. If you pass one of them in Charleston, whether it was Hennep, Parry, or whomever, and you say good morning, they go up to the electoral office and say, take off the name there. If you don't say good morning to them, your name gone. And you have heard the Premier spoke about the case when this lady showed up in court, who they said was dead, who they removed from the list. The lady showed up in court alive and well. But those were the atrocities that we had to deal with the electoral system. And the NRP must be reminded of that, because when you hear them talking about the electoral process, I'll say to you, give them any chance in this island again, and the same thing gonna happen again. The same thing, because they cannot win a free and fair election in this island. They could never win one. They won in 2006, as I said, but you hear all of the rumors that are coming out now from persons whose conscience are pricking them. But once we have had a free and fair election here in the island of Nevis, the CCM has always prevailed. We have always appealed to the voter and given them our record to choose from our record and their record. And the people of Nevis have always chosen the CCM over the NRP in any election in this island since 1992. You can count all the elections and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. The CCM is the party of choice.
CCM we voted. Tell them it's the run. CCM we voted. What we doing? Tell them what they see.
So I have no fear about the electoral process and the electoral system here on Nevis. I believe that there is so much confidence in the system. That is why the Premier would have said tonight, let's go. And we are going. And when it's all said and done, we are confident enough to say that we'll win in all 5 constituencies. And speaking of all 5, let me speak to the people of St. Thomas Parish. Huh? They keep saying that when you're elected, you're supposed to serve the entire island of Nevis, and that is true. Because once I'm the Minister of Agriculture, Lands, Housing, I have the whole island to serve. The same way as the Minister of Health, the Minister of Education. But when it's all said and done, when you're elected by a constituency, your first love and commitment must be to your constituents. And they vote for you to put you there. So if they vote to put you there, what you going to do? You have to represent them. So when you sit around the big table, the first thing that should come to your mind is your constituents. Because the Honorable Premier and all those who sit in cabinet will tell you every time something comes up, I say in St. James. And nothing is wrong with that, because it's St. James I'm going back to tell them to vote for me this upcoming election.
Now, suppose I wasn't doing for them. When I go to them, they'll tell me, no, you didn't. But they can't say that now. They can't say that because I've represented. So when I speak to the people of St. Thomas Parish, I'm saying to you, the time has come for you to vote for someone to sit around the table, to represent you, to get roads done, to get job opportunities, to get even another hotel in St. Thomas Parish, to get another bank, to get things done, whatever it is. You need somebody around the table. And that's why I'm saying tonight, go and vote for Lataya Bianca Jones. Because I know for sure in Lataya, she is a hard and diligent worker. Listen, I see the lady pick up 2 boxes, whatever, beer, malt, caribou. Boy, I say, what? Lataya is stronger than me and all. And that is why I say, if St. Thomas Parish listens to me tonight and they get committed to a real representative, a real person who is going to go there and champion the cause, Lataya has to be the person to vote for. No gimmicks in Lataya. No, Lataya is real, genuine, and ready to work. I know why I'm spending time on her because I want her to sit right next to me. Eric said, "Gonna sit between me and she," but may I hear me? Shucks. Eric say, Lataya will sit between him and I. Let me correct myself. I say she meaning Lataya. Because they like to take up all kind of clip and say all kind of things. Slip of the tongue is no fault in the mind. But anyway, let's move along. Lataya, I am saying to you tonight, the people of St. Thomas says, all the way up in Bands got come down to Jessup, Craddock Road, over to Cotton Long and into Westbury. They're going to come marching in like saints and soldiers to make sure that you are victorious. We want you with us. And the reason why I start with Lataya, because listen, Spencer got trouble blows in Charlestown. And when I say blows, I hope they don't think I'm talking domestic violence here because some of them are accustomed to blows. And I don't care what they say. Because blows going to be thrown all up and down Nevis. Blows in Charlestown, St. Paul's number 1. Blows in St. John's number 2. Blows in number 3 up in Erie Country. Oh my goodness, over in number 4. More blows for sure in number 4. And then going to number 5, Lataya going to march right on in.
I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose?
And I hope they don't misrepresent anything I say because blows going to be thrown. If I say hammer going to be thrown, it's the same thing. Because when it comes to hammer, a pong we a pong and a licks we a throw the same way. But ladies and gentlemen, you have come tonight after all of the performances we have had over the last 5 years. You want to know where we're heading. Exciting times are ahead. In agriculture, I can quickly tell you in agriculture, we have seen a transformation, a renaissance, so to speak, in agriculture. I want to point out one thing to you down at Indian Castle, the same place where, what's his name, Spencer said, that we're using a lot of water. There's a reason why we're using a lot of water down there. Because down in Indian Castle, good things are happening down there. When we came into government, they had a field of cotton down there, 35 acres of cotton. Lord of years now we move beyond cotton. They brought back slavery days under the 2 brightest men in agriculture. The minister then and the permanent secretary then. Cotton down there, nobody was going to pick any cotton because who in Nevis want a skin markup? Who in Nevis want to put an apron around their waist to pick cotton? We gone past that. So I told my permanent secretary then, who was Eric Evelyn, just let them grow. Cut them down when they're done and we go plant real food. People want real food to eat, and that is why we have gone down there. We have planted watermelon, we have planted sorrel, we have planted bunganut, we have planted soursop, we have planted passion fruit, we have planted sugar apple, citrus, we have planted banana trees, we have planted over 5,000 coconut trees. Lord, it is something for you all to go down and have a look at. The reason why I'm stressing the coconut trees now, we import jelly water from all parts of the globe. Some of it don't even taste like coconut water. And they're in a bottle for maybe 6 months or more. I am saying to you that when the pandemic hit us here in Nevis, when the pandemic hit the entire world, the thinking then, let us look at food security. Let us look at resilience in agriculture. Let us look at sustainability in this island in terms of providing for ourselves.
And so we went down there and planted some coconut trees. And I believe in another year they will start bearing fruit. Coconut, that is. I want to say to you by simple maths, if 2,000 of those coconut trees produce $1,000 worth of jelly water each month, that would be $2 million, easy like that. I'm not saying it's going to happen like that every month, but I give you an idea of the revenue that can be generated down there. Because of that, we have gone one step further and we have cleaned up another 30 plus acres and we are going to plant another 5,000 coconut trees. So that is about 10,000 coconut trees and more. I want the people of Nevis to come on board, because when it's all said and done, we have always said that Nevis can be sustainable in some product or something that we can eventually export. So coconut water will be available to people in Nevis. I went to Rams the other day, bought 2 bottles of coconut water. Cost me $17. You could imagine we are selling jelly water right here, bottling it, preserving it, and selling it to our people. Fresh jelly water not being imported from anywhere. That is how you have to think. So when they say nothing is happening, I want to say to you, good things are happening in agriculture in Nevis. Good things are happening in housing. Good things are happening in education. Good things are happening in culture. Good things are happening in infrastructural development. Good things are happening all up and down Nevis. How they could say nothing happening?
Look how easy we go hammer them. Everything we do, it a bother them.
But this thing about nothing happening is an insult to the young men and young women here on the island of Nevis who are working to build this island. When I look at Alistair Thompson, when I look at Danny, those guys at Public Works who work every day, build the infrastructure of Nevis, beautiful roads all up around Nevis. What are you telling me? They're not doing anything? They're not doing anything? What kind of insult is that to our young people? People in agriculture who are doing a marvelous job to ensure that they're providing food for the people of Nevis. What is an happy telling them you're not doing anything? Nothing is happening? Insulting. What? And that's why I started and saying that they've always sought to denigrate the efforts of the people of the island of Nevis. How would they say nothing happening in Nevis when people working so hard to build this island? I mean, they could tell me I ain't doing anything. That's the business, because I know what I have done and what my exploits have been. I could defend myself. But you cannot point a finger to our young men and young women and say nothing happening in Nevis. You go to Butlers, you see a beautiful road over there. What do you mean? Nothing happening there? You go to Shaw's Road. You go to Craddock Road when that road was built. You go to Braziers. You go all up and down Nevis. Farms. Young men and young women, engineers from Nevis, doing these things, and NRP say nothing happened. So it means that's an insult to the young people. Insult. But I want to give our young men and young women some hope. This CCM party will continue to offer you opportunities. And when the opportunities come, I want you to grab them. When the scholarships are available, whether you go to Taiwan, whether you go to wherever it is, the United States, you go to Georgia, you go wherever. When these opportunities arise, grab them with both hands. And I know why I say that. Because I've been throughout the world and I see people from St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Jamaica, all over the world studying. They grab those opportunities. And I want us not to be afraid to take advantage of these opportunities. Because when it's all said and done, the future belongs to young men and young women of this island. And once you set yourself up in the right way, the future would look bright. Solid future. And I do believe in all young people, because they have demonstrated that they have the acumen, they have the skills, they have the ability to do what is necessary to build this island. Don't let the NRP bring you with no negativity. Don't let them put no negativity in your head. That's all they're good for. This platform is about positivity, positiveness. And that is all we want to preach from this platform. Because when it's all said and done, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, all of us who are alive today, we must make our contribution so we can leave this island. We can leave this island better than we met it. Better than we met it. I am so proud of our accomplishment as a party in government. We have more work to do. But when we are done, Nevis will be much better than we met it.
And much better in that we have said before that the Van Sammer International Airport will see expansion under this government over the next 5 years. We'll make that runway about 5,600 feet long. Resurface it, new lights, parking areas for jets, new hangar. It therefore means there'll be expanded opportunities for our people, expanded opportunities for us to make money, increase revenue for the island of Nevis. And with all of the negativities you have been hearing about us selling out the airport, who going to sell out the airport to anybody? Any sensible government will do that, not this one for sure. But we'll partner with anyone who is willing to partner with us to ensure that that infrastructural development take place. And it will take place. Not only that, we said we are going to expand on the Long Point Pier so that cruise ship can now dock over there. If cruise ships start coming here, every day they come, some revenue will be placed into our treasury. Taxi operators will make money. Restaurateurs will make money. Hotels will make money because when they come one day, they'll see the beauty of Nevis and want to come back for a longer stay. And that is how we are thinking as a government. Good things are in store for the island of Nevis. Not only that, I have said in the area of agriculture, we want to establish a broiler industry whereby we'll grow our own chicken here. Chicken parts, whole chicken, everything will be produced here on the island of Nevis. It has been talked about from time to time, but now is the time to bring it to fruition. And we have already not placed the order, but we have done the research and we have gotten the costing of the machinery that is going to be used in the processing of these birds. And I want to say to all of our young men and young women, it is an exciting area to get into because every 6 to 8 weeks you'll be making some money. But before you get to money, there's some hard work that is going to be in it. Hard work in everything. But I want to say to you that the government is putting in place a policy whereby your feed will be duty-free. Equipment will be duty-free. The material needed to construct your pen will be duty-free. You will get 5 years tax-free. Corporate tax waiver, that is. So we are making it easy for you to get in and get established. Not only that, we'll have at least 61 acres of lands available down at Webb's estate that will subdivide and make available to all those who want to get into such farming. That is positive thinking. Gone will be the days, or those days will be long gone when we have to wait for chicken to come here. Chicken that have been in a freezer somewhere for 6 months or more. Fresh chicken will be available in Nevis. As a matter of fact, I'll say to you, most of the chicken that comes here, whether from South America or the United States, they have to travel across land. They have to travel on ocean, travel across land again. When they get to Long Point, they travel across land to get up to Best Buy or to Rams. They can't be fresh. But once we produce them right here, you'll get fresh, wholesome chicken, and that will translate into a better life, better living, betterment for our people. And that is why we are thinking that this is an exciting way to go, to make sure we can produce for ourselves. You have heard Spencer say, if the boat don't come, we must be able to feed ourselves. We have been sustainable. We have been sustainable in egg production, so now it's time to get chicken, meat to eat. And I'm so excited about that. It is waiting for anyone who wants to get involved. But let us set it up right and make sure we can get it done properly. So CCM at work, people. CCM at work. And the CCM will continue to work for you time and time again, because I know the people of Nevis don't want to see the hands of time turn back on them. Never. But I want to say more, because in terms of exciting times, you have heard Spencer talk about that ring road on the south. I don't want to talk about that again because he has spoken about it. But I know for sure in St. James, I want to say to those who are listening to me that my school, the same school I went to, St. James Primary School, I call it David, and he went up against Goliath in Charlestown Primary School. So it was David against Goliath. And we got to the finals, but we failed to win. But there was triumphant in defeat. And why I say that is the smallest school on the island. When I became the minister or the representative of St. James, that school had 29 students. The talk then, let's shut it down. Let's combine VOJ and St. James. I sat around the same cabinet table and say, not one chance will that happen. You all will meet me at the gate when you come to close it down because I will keep it open. Visionary thinking, because I said to my cabinet colleagues, we are going to keep it open. Here's what we'll do. We'll start a housing development right next door. We started Cedar View Housing Development. Right now we have 60 homes over there. There are people coming into the area and feeding into that school. So now they're at about 50 students. That is good. It can only get better. It can only get better. But that is visionary thinking. Because the fact that the school remained open, we have been able to put things in place to increase the student body there. So we're up to 50 and we'll grow further. But as the school grows, the larger will become the talent pool where they'll be able to compete with all the bigger schools. When it comes to the mini Olympics, we'll be able to compete in that as well. And that's what you do, because when you have a school in that environment over there, it therefore means you keep the talent right in the area. They will be able to build their community, compete against each other, be competitive at what they do to make sure that it prepares them for the life ahead. Competition is there in life. You have to be able to compete. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying to you that I want to commit to the people of St. James that will build a government-run preschool and daycare center right over there in St. James. What that would do is that the student or the children who goes to that preschool and daycare center will then feed into the 2 primary schools over there. Instead of going down to St. Thomas's or going to Charlestown, they'll stay right there and feed into those schools so that they can grow further, so that they can keep the talent there and make sure that we're able to sustain ourselves over there. That is forward thinking. That is what you do as a representative. Not only that, I'm saying tonight, because I'll say more on Saturday night when we get to Newcastle, but I want a polyclinic built in St. James. I want it to be built in St. James so that if there are any difficulties, whether there is an emergency situation, whether persons want to go and have their personal health taken care of, meaning the services that you get at the health centers, blood pressure check, or you have to do a small procedure, it can be done right over there. If there's an emergency, instead of waiting for an ambulance to come from Charlestown, you can stabilize a patient and then move them to the main hospital. But that is what I am hoping to accomplish over the next 5 years. I want St. James to be like an island by itself. I said already, we're going to secede from Nevis one day. St. James will secede from Nevis one day because right now we got a seaport. We have an airport. We have a police station. We have hotels. I'm building a polyclinic. I have a daycare center and a preschool coming. We have schools. And when that 6th farm is ready to be built, I'm going to make nice for you to come to St. James. When we're ready to build the 6th farm, Premier, I'm telling you, I'm going to fight hard. I got land over there. Plenty of government land to build on. So St. James, you're going to be the constituency that everybody seems to be jealous of, but that's okay. The other representative will got to get just as jealous and do whatever is necessary in their constituency. But we want to make St. James, the north of the island, an area that when persons come there, they would feel satisfied that Nevis on a whole have developed to the point where we can be proud, whether visitors or citizens and nationals or residents, that is. But ladies and gentlemen, I said I was going to be long, it looked like a really long show. But I want to say to you, in wrapping up, I'll wrap up shortly, but I want to say to you that I have known Mark A.G. Brantley for the last 30 plus years. We went to the 6th Farm College together. We left school. He went on his way. I went on my way. But we came back together again in 2006 when the CCM was transitioning from the Honorable Nurse Jane Harris transitioning from the Honorable Malcolm Gishard, transitioning from the Honorable Lofton Brandy. At that point in time, CCM needed young blood. CCM needed persons who are going to propel the party forward, push the agenda of the party, and they turned to Mark Brantley and Alexis Jeffers. And since then, we have been joined at the hip, and we've been fighting this fight ever since. So I know Mark Brantley well. He knows me well. But I'll tell you this much. One of the reasons why you hear them talk about Mark Brantley so much, they can't handle the man. Can't go with him. Plain and simple, they can't handle him. Mark Brantley is articulate. He's a bright fellow. And when it's all said and done, Mark Brantley has leadership qualities that are different to Van Samry. It's different to Joseph Parry. I've said time and time again, you cannot compare Mark Brantley to any of them. Mark Brantley is going to be his own man. And even if I become the leader tomorrow, you can't compare me to Mark Brantley. Because I'll be my own person. But in being himself, Mark Brantley has demonstrated that he has a love for the island of Nevis. He's willing to give up anything to make sure that his people are all right. And you know, he's running against this lady, Pat. Pat Bartlett, your name, not your Pat. I want to tell you this much. The only reason why Pat Bartlett is running, Pat Bartlett turned the age of 60, and at 60 you got to go home. And because he had to go home, Pat Bartlett can't jump into politics, think he want to come back in somehow. But Mark Brantley is going to make sure he don't come back. And that's why I said earlier, or last time I was on the platform, not one of them have gone into politics with the right thinking or the right reason in terms of ensuring they're in there to serve the people of Nevis. All of them have a personal agenda why they went in. Every one of them, examine them. I tell you that Pat Bartlett didn't get into politics because he loved any one of you up here. She hasn't gone in because he loved any one of you. She hasn't gone in because he loved the island of Nevis. I tell you already, she turned 60 and we say, you got to go. And with that, she get angry. She get vexed. Jumping into politics now. And Mark is right, you know. She going to vote for Mark Brantley come election day. Secretly. Secretly, she would vote for Mark Brantley and come out and cuss Mark too. Even though he don't vote for him. But back to Mark Brantley. Because I'm going to wrap up just now. Mark Brantley during the pandemic have demonstrated that he is a leader par excellence. And you know, all that can be said about him, all negativity can be said. But let me tell you this much. When he sat in cabinet with us, he said that not one civil servant will lose a paycheck during those difficult times. Because he said that if he was to withhold the payment or send home anyone, it therefore means they won't be able to pay their mortgage. They won't be able to send their children to school. They won't be able to buy their food, service their home environment, buying their food for their home, that is. They won't be able to save a penny. And he said he would make sure that every single civil servant remain employed. And because of that, we have seen the benefits of that to our people here on the island of Nevis, especially those who work for government. Not only that, at the federal level, I'm going to tell you this much. Many times when we sit in the federal cabinet, the former prime minister would always point to Mark. Mark, what do you have to say? Because his opinion is one that is always relied upon. And I want to commend Mark Brantley for the person he is. And you know, all that has been said about him haven't dissuaded him. He has stood up to all of the challenges. And he continued to do so because what? He loved the people of Nevis. And the people of Nevis too, meaning St. John's. I want you to repose your confidence in Mark Brantley. Go out and vote for Mark Brantley. Do not change your representative. He has done a marvelous job for you. And you give him 5 more years and he'll do just as good and even better. So I have every confidence that Mark Brantley, because he has stood up on the local stage, the regional stage, the international stage, and have represented the people of Nevis in such a way that no one else have done. You remember the Windrush thing in England, where persons left the Caribbean, went to England back in the 1940s or thereabout, when they were in a state of bother in terms of their residency status, or their status in England was being challenged. Mark Brantley did an interview up there. Got a lot of people vexed. Some who think they should have been at the microphone and on that stage. Mark Brantley went up and articulated the issues. And for that he was commended. And I want to say to you, if you have a good man, and a good thing. Why do you want to change it? There's no need to change. Mark Brantley will be your next representative here in St. John's. He has been here contesting elections since 2007 until now, and every time he has beaten his opponent larger and in larger numbers every time. So Mark Brantley, I know I'll be there with you. So in wrapping up, I want to say to the people of St. John's and the people of Nevis, in number one, you're voting for Spencer Brand. I said already, we don't want no Rary and no Rara in the government in Nevis. Down in Charleston, I put Rary and Rara down there. You're voting for a decent man, a man who loved the people of St. Paul's, a man who have worked hard for the people of St. Paul's. The others have come with a lot of fluff, a lot of noise, and noise. Rary and Rara. Come up to St. John's, of course, I said, Mark Brantley is the man here. Because the other person he's running against is not running because they love anybody up here, but more so. Had to go, and she get vexed.
What?
Come up to Nevis Street, Eric. Eric, you're the man up there because they pick up a man from all up in Barnescott and Kinnicat up Rallins. All the way up a Rallin Mountain, a man go and say, running up there. What atrocity. Can't find nobody in Gingerland with all the mic. Not all the mic, all the mouth they got. Nobody want to put the name on the ballot up there against Eric. So they had to go all the way to Barnescott. So Eric, you're safe up in Nevis 3. Over in Nevis 4, I'm running against somebody over there who just resurrected after 20 years. Some people want to, when they see her coming there, they wonder where Rumpelstiltskin going. That's what I call him, right? Rumpelstiltskin. But let me say this to you, that we be in business in St. James, Nobody is going to get up after 20 years. They don't know the people, they don't know the territory, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're saying. And all I'm saying to the people of St. James, I have done my best to represent you. The best is yet to come, and we'll do much more over in that constituency. So vote for Alexis Jeffers over there come December 12th. And down in St. Thomas Parish, Nevis 5, Latoya Bianca Jones, she has demonstrated she's a hard worker. She has demonstrated that she's ready to serve. She's willing to serve, and she will serve because she'll be elected come December 12th as well. So I said before, all 5 for we in the CCM, every constituency, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, CCM will rumble into government come December 12th. And I want all of you to be there to rejoice with us and celebrate with us. And then the hard work begins after that. We're ready for the task. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's my quota. I thought I was going to be short tonight, but I wanted to warm up the stage for the Honorable Mark Brantley. You all see I bring this up here? I have a lot of things on it and I never open it. It looked like I bring it for style, but anyway, it looks good in my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a good time tonight. I really enjoyed myself. See, I'm sweating and all of it. I'm sweating, and it means that this campaign is just about to get jiggy up in here. We are ready to rumble. We are ready to tell the people of Nevis, the only party of choice here on the island of Nevis is the CCM party. Increase the momentum with CCM. Let's go out and vote come December 12th. Take your brother with you. Take your sister with you. Take your father with you. Take your mother with you. Take your friend with you. And when you're all done, go back for the family and carry them again. Make sure we get all the votes in the box. And vote for the CCM overwhelming. Listen, it was a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. See you in Gingerland tomorrow night. It's my birthday, but I'm going to go celebrate with Eric. Thank you very much.
Put them up in the air. CCM, yes, CCM. Tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear.
I really believe that we gone clear. That deserve a clap and then some. He did say he gonna talk long, and I believe he could talk longer, because he has not touched the tablet yet. You understand? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a man who is full of energy, a man who is ready to work and committed to the work. Ladies and gentlemen, the DJ has prepped me a little bit, but that's the time it is. We are in St. John's. And we all know that St. John's is CCM country. And we know that St. John's is Mark Brantley country. So we're not going to waste any time. We heard him earlier giving that speech, and he called the election. I know that he has a lot of things to say tonight. So please, make a little noise. If you have a whistle, blow it. Make a little noise and let me help me to welcome the Premier of Nevis and the leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Is a clean sweep, 5-0 for them. Help me welcome the leader, the Honorable Mark Brantley.
I want Nevis to be a better country. I want my people to have prosperity. So I will vote for CCM and Mark Brantley. So when you see him, when CCM, trust me, it's no problem. They keeping the country strong with the momentum. Politicians just beat around the problem. So if you want the job get done, give me a call, then we voted for Mark now. We voted for Mark now. Brantley and the CCM, the job gon' get done now. We voted for Mark now. We voted for Mark now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to the wonderful people of Church Ground, the people of Brown Pasture, the people of Cane Garden, all of those who can hear us. Good evening. This is the sound. This is the sound of the Big Blue Machine, the Concerned Citizens Movement. You know, 5 years ago, we came to this very spot to ring the bell. And 5 years ago, the people responded by giving the Concerned Citizens Movement 4 of the 5 seats on offer. I am here to say tonight that this time, 5 years later, I am asking the people of Nevis to give us all 5 seats and to keep Nevis blue. And I'm asking you because I believe that our record has been an excellent record of service to the people of Nevis. We have continued the rich tradition set by the late great Vance Emery. And we have not backed away from service to our people. This term has been a difficult term. We had a challenge that no other government, no other premier, no other leader in the history of Nevis has had to confront, and that was the COVID-19 pandemic. They said to us, now don't talk about COVID. Well, we must talk about it. Because when we expected 5 years of development, we had 2 years when we needed to use all of the resources we had to keep our people safe. We couldn't build the roads we wanted to build. We couldn't build the infrastructure we wanted to build because every penny that we had to spend. We put money towards agriculture. We put money towards healthcare. And I said to the team, as you have heard, that every single public servant, every single individual who works for one of our statutory corporations must be paid on time and in full. And I am proud that despite the challenges, when hotels were closed, seaports and airports were closed, that your CCM government with steady leadership kept Nevis afloat. And we kept our people paid. We kept our people working. And today, through the grace of God, we are now on the other side of COVID and looking forward to the development and the advancement of this island we call home. Tonight, I gave an address that you would have heard. And I decided to do it that way because I wanted to make the case. You see, I keep saying that the difference between us and the other side is that we are running on a record of achievement. The other side is running on promises. And in order for them to find something to talk about, they have to go back to the days of Sir Simeon Daniel. Because since then, this new NRP has done nothing of note. They have done nothing to demonstrate any love for Nevis. I had a conversation recently with someone. The person asked me, who is this woman who is leading the NRP? I said to them, your guess is as good as mine. Because she came back here 20 years ago in curious circumstances. And that time, she did not associate with anybody. She did not go anywhere in any community group, any church group, any kind of group. She never sponsored one child, one sports team, never engaged herself in anything to do with Nevis. And then 2 years ago, or whenever it was, we hear one big commotion, and she's the leader of NRP.
What?
And we all know she became the leader of NRP because they didn't want to give it to Cleon. We know that is what happened. They did not want to give it to Cleon, so they gave it to her. Well, Cleon, I'm sorry for you because you weren't make leader. And now Latoya going to take away your seat. So, I feel sorry for you. But they brought an unknown. Brought her to say she leading a party in Nevis, does not think about Nevisians. In fact, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers said to her, I bet you can't tell me the 3 houses going down from your house. Who live in there? 20 years and she don't know who the 3 neighbors be. Well, how she gonna know she don't talk to people? And that, I think, is the fundamental thing that we keep talking about on this platform, that we have come to politics to serve people. Others have come to politics to serve themselves and their own agenda.
What?
There's a lady running against me. And all my life I've been in politics. She has supported me. She has voted for me. In fact, I see her walking around with Hensley, and I said, Lord, poor Hensley. You know how much advice she don't give me how to bang Hensley? I know Hensley going around and knock on people's doors, say, Lord, I vote to him.
And he has gained the confidence, mind you, of some people. Because I know, and I can share this with you and the audience, I voted for him the last election.
Okay. You see, when I told you all she was going to vote for me in the election, a lot of you said no.
And he has gained the confidence, mind you, of some people. Because I know, and I can share this with you and the audience, I voted for him the last election.
Y'all hear that? Well, if Pat vote to me, why I must waste time to vote to Pat? Ladies and gentlemen, the message that is coming from them is confused and confusing because they have not come for the right reasons. Alexis has told you all the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It is only when we said that the retirement, Lord, you got to go, you're 60. I became the worst person in the world. All along, I was good and the relationship was good. You cannot come to politics because you have a personal vendetta. You must come because you love people and you want to serve people. You know, in 2006, when CCM went into opposition, the Honorable Van Samry of blessed memory reached out in St. James to Alexis. He reached out in St. John's to me. And we two came in, two youngsters, into politics to serve. And we have since then dedicated our lives to the service of the people of Nevis. And I am here to tell you, we went over to St. Kitts. We were part of Team Unity, as you know. And when in St. Kitts, they decided down there that they got too big for their britches and wanted to treat Nevis in a particular way, CCM stood up in Bastia too. And we say, because we mean it, wherever we go in this world, whether we're in Charleston, we're in Bastia, or wherever,
we will always stand on the side of the people of Nevis. Ladies and gentlemen, I tonight rang the bell. I rang the bell not in the traditional sense, but I did it on radio because I wanted to make the case. And I wanted people to have the opportunity to go back and look. And I tried to chronicle not all, but some of the achievements of this government over the past 5 years. Notwithstanding COVID, I believe the record has been an excellent record. Do you know that we had non-established workers who sometimes served for 30 and 40 years and walked away at the end of their life of service to government with nothing?
What?
They walked away with thank you because they were not a part of the civil service. I am proud that under my leadership and in this CCM government, as of the 1st of September 2022, non-established workers now have a retirement package available to them. Others talked about it. Some said it could not be done. But through the grace of God and the perseverance of the CCM, we have put something in place so that our non-established workers, when they leave, can look forward to something into their retirement. That is what you do when you love people. They talk and say all that they want, but you see me, I like to create history. I like to create history. And I'm standing here tonight as the first premier and the only party, the leader of the only party that has delivered to the public servants in Nevis in the past 5 years 4 double salaries. I said so the other day and somebody said, oh, I think it's the money come from. I mean, I understand. Whether the money come from sink, is it come from bank, it come from wherever our public servants get the money. And who was there to negotiate for you? Mark Anthony Graham Brantley. They used to call me the sheriff, but they said, oh no. I am here to tell you that we have had a record of performance. I went up to the hospital. They have a lot of talk about the hospital that is being built there at Alexandra. They say, oh, it's overrun and over time. They forget we had 2 years of COVID, but that's okay. I am here to tell you tonight that that structure is 2.5 times the size of the existing hospital. It means if you take up Alexandra now, you can fit it in that 2.5 times. And we are taking our time because we're investing there for the next 40 years in healthcare here in Nevis. I am not worried about the noise that they're making. Because whilst that construction is going on there, we have continued to develop healthcare. We have now installed a brand new 128 slice Philips CT scan at the hospital. It is the first machine of its kind in the entire Federation and only the second of its kind in the whole OECS. That machine costs over $1.2 million US. And that has been put there through our negotiation for the benefit of the people of Nevis. The days of divisions, having to travel to St. Kitts or to Antigua for a scan, those days are now over. CCM has been the party that has delivered for the people of Nevis. In housing, for the first time in history, under the leadership of the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, we have homes at Garner's. University Heights, we have homes at Madden's. We have homes at Craddock Road, homes at Hamilton, homes at Chimney Crescent and Prospect, and we have homes at Rice's, all happening at the same time. Where in the history of Nevis has that ever happened? When we did the tally just today, we have built just about 170 homes. And you know what that means? That means that 170 families now have a roof above their heads. I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen,
that our record is an excellent record. I got the recent job numbers from Social Security. And whenever I look at Social Security numbers, I always tell people the number is actually higher because we understand that some people are not members of Social Security. Many people are self-employed. And while I'm here, let me encourage you to go and register with Social Security. But the Social Security numbers show that in December of 2020, at the height of the pandemic, we had 4,600 jobs in Nevis. And by July of 2022, that had risen to 5,600 jobs. It means, therefore, that we've added 1,000 jobs from where we were to where we are now. And as we now go into the tourist season, I expect even more jobs to come forward. We are about the economy. We are about growing and expanding this island of Nevis. And ladies and gentlemen, when we hear the constant rhetoric about nothing happening, I say that it's like hot sun in Charlestown and people tell you it's snowing. Or they tell you it's nighttime when midday is there. Our people aren't blind. Our people aren't foolish. Our people understand what they see. So you're riding and driving on good roads every day. You say nothing happening. You go down to the Malcolm Gishard Park, which we built to ensure that we satisfy the vision of the late, great Malcolm Gishard. And you tell me nothing happening? You use the water taxi pier every day and you say nothing happening? You pay your taxes at the new treasury building in town and you say nothing happening? You look at the new police and fire station at Newcastle and you say nothing happening? You go all around the island, you see CCTV deployed, a brand new CCTV center in Charlestown, and you say nothing happening? The new TVET center by Gingerland and the refurbishment and improvement up there, and you say nothing happening? A building 2.5 times the size of the existing hospital under construction, and you say nothing happening? Well, my goodness gracious, you have to be blind, deaf, and dumb. If you can't understand what is going on in the country, but you see, when you have come to politics for the wrong reasons, you can't see. You can't understand because you're all of self and none of thee. And that is why I'm so proud of this team that I am leading. And that is why we decided that we will come back to church ground. We will come back to where we started this journey 5 years ago. And I always ask the question when I'm in church ground. I see a lot of cars. I see people in their cars. I want you to wake up the neighborhood. CCM, are you ready? Let me tell you all, this election is going to be sweet. It's going to be fast. It's going to be sharp. We bang them already, and we're going to bang them again. Listen, we have meetings all across Nevis. We have town halls. We will be on the radio. We will be on television. We will be knocking on your doors. We will be coming and we are asking the army of blue to mobilize. This is our time now to show the world that Nevis is CCM country. And we are here to make that case. I am not going to waste any time talking about NRP. NRP dead, dead, dead. Dead. And I am telling you tonight in church ground, I am making the prediction tonight in church ground that after this election, a lot of them who are now standing up will be in the category of retirees. And I am telling you that the non-established pension scheme is not going to benefit them. We are going to put them out to pasture because I know for a fact the leader ain't coming back. I know for a fact that Pat ain't coming back. I know for a fact that the boy up in Gingerland ain't coming back. And Lord of mercy, when Latoya finished with Cleon, Cleon can't come back. So who they got left with? Who they got left with? I don't even know. I can't remember who else running for NRP. Let me tell you all tonight that when this bell that has been rung, when this election comes, and the election will be on Monday the 12th, and when this election comes, I want to know what kind of old telephone bell the DJ ring. When the election comes on the 12th, when the election comes on the 12th, I am telling you that in number 1, it's going to be Spencer Brannigan. In number 3, it's going to be Eric Evelyn again. In number 4, there's only one man for St. James, and that's the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. In number 5, we have brought a brand new horse. Oh my goodness. It will only be the Honorable Latoya Bianca Jones, all the way with LBJ. And then up here, up here in Church Ground, from Paddle all the way down to Bath, there's only one candidate, one representative, and that is the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley, the man for number 2. You have been with me since 2007. You have never let me down, and I will never let you down. So when election day comes, Monday the 12th, oh, what a glorious day it will be. Monday the 12th, oh, what a glorious day it will be. I want you to go out early. I want you to do what you need to do, because I want to ensure that the island of Nevis remains blue. Blue. From Rollins Mountain all the way down to the lowlands of Low Street, I want the whole of Nevis to be blue. Carl asked me to say that he wanted money. So Carl, I have said so on the mic. Carl wanted money. That sounds like a different campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, I am grateful that you have come. We are going to be having meetings. I believe we move next to the great parish of St. George. And we will go up to support the Honorable Eric Evelyn. Some say he don't need any support, but we're going to go because he supports all of us in our constituencies as well. I am therefore left to ask the candidates if they're here. Since tonight is the night that we have rung the bell. Tonight is the night that the campaign officially starts. If you're here, I want you to come on stage and let the people of Nevis see the next government, the next cabinet, all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5. Nevis, CCM, make some noise. Let us light up the place. This is our time. Troy, where's that big blue bell? Troy, where's that big blue bell? Candidates, join me on stage. I want the people of Nevis. Listen, we don't want a little fake bell, you know. We don't want a little fake telephone bell. Troy's supposed to got a big bell, now I can't find Troy. Ladies and gentlemen, your government, and I'm asking you, with the concerned citizens movement, this is your government. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 3. Number 3. Number 3. Number 4. Number 4. Number 5. Number 5. And number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2.
rolling with the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, tell them we can't clear. We can't clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we can't clear. We can't clear. Show me your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put him up, put him up. Show me your 14 finger. Your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, CCM, tell them we can't clear. We can't clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we can't clear. We can't clear. Show me your 14 finger. Your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them up in the air. Show me your 14 finger. Your 14 finger. Show me your 14 finger. Put them up. Put them up.
I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose? We rolling with the big blue machine. Singing with the big blue machine. We winning. Machine. I see next side. I see next side. Are you the try and lose? Are you the try and lose? I see next side. I see next side. Are you the try and lose? Are you the try and lose?